But see, from my perspective, the witness quality of consciousness is simply, I consider it a kind of phase, a stage of awakening, a stage of, it's to me, all these parts are part of the education. I call it the education. So there are many, many ways in which there's an education that happens.
Or like an unfolding or something.
An unfolding, that's a beautiful way to say it. So there are many of these qualities of life that awaken within us. Witnessing is one of those. But it's a kind of, it can be, for many people, a landmark in that progress towards uncovering our own greatness, fulfilling that intuitive sense that I'm more than what I'm finding here. See, let me back up a minute. What happened for me when I was I was more than 3 years old. I was less than 4 years old. It was a little hard for me to tell exactly age, but at around the age of 3.5, 3 3/4, as far as I can tell, I had the experience that I recognized I was being conditioned into thinking of myself as a human. It was an incredibly shocking experience for me. I grew up on a farm in the mountains in East Tennessee, and one day, and I'm saying I was 3 to 4 because it was the first time I was able to get away from the rest of the family and away from the house itself by myself. So I walked up on the hill, probably a couple hundred yards behind the house, looking down on the house. I suddenly realized that I'd been caught in this human drama. But I remembered my nature before birth and knew what it was like not to be in a human body. I knew what it was like not to have to deal with a human body. I remembered it with absolute clarity. And I was stunned. I was shocked. It was horrible because I felt like I'd been captured somehow by this human experience. I actually thought that these humans had kidnapped me and were forcing me to think I was one of them. It was horrifying, actually, at that point. And when that happened, I could see how I was being hypnotized into the conceptual paradigm of identity. I could actually sense it. And I could sense how, I realized how I was losing the memory of my nature. And so I took 2 vows at that moment. The first thing I vowed was no matter what people did, no matter what happened, I would never forget my nature. I would never forget that I was free of any of the encumbrances that come with a human body, that was my nature. And the second vow I took a second vow, but I forgot about it. The second vow I took was that I would find my way home. I thought finding my way home meant getting out of this world. And so my quest really began at that time. Although I didn't know it was a quest, I just knew I wanted to get out of this crazy place where I was being hypnotized into thinking I was a grubby little human body. Because it was so torturous trying to get the body to function with my thoughts and mind and trying to communicate. Communication is so difficult. It is. It's a very, very difficult thing. I forget who it was who said that the problem with communication is that we think it happened. But that's also part, but now I look at it very differently now, and I realize what a fantastic, beautiful part of our experience that is. That even those parts that we consider so difficult, that's part of the magic of being a human.